Hey, this is Jan from Different Skill, and I'm bringing you another deck for sale video. This time it's my Eradicator deck. Another deck that I don't play very much, because right now I have... I have here Revengers, Nubatama, Kruger, and then I have on my table I have Zenith, and I just don't play this as much, so I'm going to offer it up to anyone who wants to play it. Basically for sale. So this is Eradicators has kind of fallen off in the tier list, so the prices have gone down. So this deck is also relatively cheap. I believe last time I checked, was selling it for $110 without these, because these are $30 apparently. I bought what's the screen name again? Cardotaku, yeah. Cardotaku bought me these in Hong Kong, and then they were super expensive, so I'll be keeping these. So this deck will not come with sleeves. But if you really want this deck box that I use for it, you can probably ask me for it and whatnot. If not, it'll just be sent in like a paper deck box, a cardboard deck box, kind of like cheap stuff. So, anyways, onto the deck. Eradicators is an excellent rush deck. Has a really good reversal. So what it means by reversal is like if they double crit you early and they didn't have a perfect guard or something, and then like they first check crit and then second check crit, and then you're at 4 damage, you ride this, you can potentially kill them, and that's kind of what a reversal means. So first off, we start with 4 Gauntlet Buster Dragon. He is one of the most powerful Eradicators right now. So whenever a unit dies, he gains plus 3k and plus 1 crit if you are at limit break. That is his limit break ability. His other ability is Counterblast 2, or your opponent sacrifices a creature. So your opponent chooses a creature and chooses a rear guard and sends it to the drop zone. Like, I say sacrifices a creature because that's kind of how that term is used in Magic. So it's like sack a creature, but so basically Gauntlet Buster Dragon makes your opponent kill one of his own creatures. Or rear guards, my bad. Oh, I'm getting confused. So, yeah, it's pretty powerful. I mean, his effect is, it's okay, Counterblast 2 to kill a card that's random, technically, like, not under your control. So it's not amazing, but his ability to gain power and crit is what makes him good, which is why it's limit break ability. Okay, so there's 4 of those. 2 Dragonic Descendant. Dragonic Descendant is at 2 for a reason. It's quite a powerful card. So when this unit attack does not connect, so basically you can attack with just itself, and this is actually really good against cross rides because you can attack with just this, and there's no way your opponent can, like, if he no guards it, you're still, and you don't put the triggers. If he no guards it and you get triggers, you put it on it, he's dead. And if he does guard it, then it gets to restand. So like there's no way that, like, it, because they can't even choose to go like no guard, hope you don't get any triggers, like no guard, hope you don't get a crit, because then you can just put power on your booster and then restand it with the crit. So say you go like attack, they're at 4, they're cross rided, you go attack with this and you have a booster, let's say any booster, and then you hit a draw trigger. Okay, you hit a draw trigger, you go power here, draw a card, and then do the rest of it, restand with a crit, and then attack again. And you get the power from your trigger still, but then you get to restand no matter what. So that's why this card is pretty neat and how it works and whatnot. So it's quite a powerful card. And also, if you had to ride this as your first Vanguard, generally you want this as your second Vanguard to get them to 5 or to 4. Generally when they're at 4, they have the chance to go no guard, hope you don't get a crit, if you don't get a crit I don't die. And then, well, that just happens, right? But then if they're at 5, they have to keep blocking this, so there's that. If you ride him as your first Vanguard, you get the opportunity to use his other effect, which is Counterblast 2 plus 5k. So you can go Counterblast 2 plus 5k, Counterblast 2 plus 5k, attack, and then if they're at 5, then you can go attack, and then if not, they'll just go like no guard, and you'll hope to get a crit. So that's Dragonic Descendant. The other two slots in this deck is up in the air. I honestly don't like Sweep Command, but I haven't found a good replacement. Some people play the Break Ride, which is the Break Ride, not the Vowing Sword one, but the one where it's Counterblast 1, your opponent sacrifices 2 creatures. But I honestly really like Vowing Sword Reverse. So let's go with Sweep Command first. So Sweep Command, when you ride it, you may select one I don't know if it's Eradicator or not, but I'm gonna assume it is. Send one Eradicator rearguard to your soul, destroy one opponent's rearguards in the front row, and then Counterblast 2, destroy a rearguard in the front row, plus 5k, and draw a card. So his ability isn't bad at all, but I just don't like it as much. Although, you know, destroying a card plus 5k and drawing a card seems pretty freaking good. But yeah. And then my personal favorite, I honestly like this more than all the rest of the Narukami grade 3s, but he's not as good, mainly because he's a reverse unit, so he has a bad matchup against Chaos Breaker. So Counterblast 2, lock 2 of your rear guards. This card gains plus 10,000, and your opponent has to kill 2 of his rear guards. The main reason why I like this card so much is not only because the effect is quite powerful, but also the art is really nice. The art on this card is so nice. You know, sometimes I just feel like making, like, if I actually sell this deck, I probably might just make, like, a Vowing Sword reverse deck. Just because, like, the Vowing Sword reverse is such a cool, look how cool it is. It has, like, 2 swords, it's a dragon, it's a black circle. What more do you want? Okay, anyways, moving on, that's all the grade 3s. 4, Fiendish Sword, Eradicator, Cho-Oh. In its peak, he was $20, now he's kind of like 10. I'm not sure myself. But his effect is when you play it, it's basically the same as Command Sweep Dragon or Sweep Command Dragon. When you play it, you select a rear guard, put it into your soul, snipe a card in the front row. Mainly use this to feed your your Gauntlet Buster Dragon, so then he gets extra crits. You kill the things in the front row, then use this effect to make him sacrifice his back row. So it makes a good combo. So 4 of these. 3, Zuitan. Zuitan is an unflipper. You attack. If your attack hits, you have the mandatory soul charge and unflip a damage, regardless if you have damage or not. So it's really good with a starter because it makes your starter free, kind of. You make sure like that you both don't have a starter now. Linchu is pretty good, but I don't know. It seems like starters that kill other starters, it's really hit or miss. Sometimes they have starters like soul charge it, look at the top 3 cards for a grade 3, and they miss, and then you're just like, well, and then like, or you waste your Zuitan on it, but you don't know if they'll miss or not, and then sometimes you just don't want to do it. But a lot of times you can win the game, you can win the matchup by just killing their starting Vanguard, because a lot of decks really need their starting Vanguard. So 3 of these. My personal favorite for grade 2s, Eradicator, Lorenz Force Dragon. Yeah, it's just, the name is just really cool, so that's why I like it. I know. It's called Lorenz Force. Like, wow. Lorenz Force. Lorenz Force Dragon. Okay, I'm done. So, Lorenz Force Dragon, when this card is in the rearguard zone and you ride a grade 3, you may counterblast 1, your opponent has to sacrifice 1 rearguard. So, quite powerful. Sometimes if you play in the front row, say you ride Lorenz Force and you call it Lorenz Force, and then you attack with your Vanguard, they might actually just attack this because they don't want you to get they don't want you to make them sacrifice a creature for no reason. Like, you don't want to get them the plus. They'll attack this. If they attack with their Vanguard and that's all they have, and they attack this, and they get a critical trigger, this paid for itself immensely. You have no idea. So, people who are afraid to play them in the front, like, kind of, sometimes you go like, okay, I really want to kill something, I'll put it in the back row. Like, you just put it right here. And they can't attack it, right? And they can't use, like, Blaster Blade Liberator and whatnot because it's all front row. So you just go, like, put this back here, attack, go. And then you ride and you kill something. But if you put it in the front, they have to make the choice. But although you never want to really let your opponent make the choice, because your opponent will most likely be making the best choice for themselves, although that's not always the case. So. 3 Eradicator Gold. No, not Eradicator, sorry. Wyvern Guard Golds. These are the old ones. These are Sentinel Shields, so it is not the original print. Basically, I play these. The deck needs a special counterblast, but if you only play 3 normal Perfect Guards, it's not that big of a deal, because the only things that like really are counterblast heavy is this. This is 1. This is 2. So you're not really going to have a point with like crap. Like, and if you have all 3 of these in your damage zone, you're kind of dead anyways. Like, if you go first 3 damage like this, you're like, that's kind of a downside. So yeah, it's not too much. It's not too relevant that it's not an Eradicator card, but I play 3 of those. This guy is Caster, Eradicator of the Ceremonial Bonfire Caster. I don't know why I remember that name so clearly, but when you play this in the rear guard zone, if your opponent has 2 or less rear guards, you may discard 1 and draw 1. He is not bad if you are grade stuck, but he's like people sometimes misuse these. Like they see their hand is like okay, it has a trigger. You can go discard the trigger, draw, and then you draw another trigger, and you're just like, well, I just blanked the trigger. If you don't have to use it, if you're not missing a grade, you shouldn't be using these, unless like you really needed something. Like, oh, okay, I'm going to be grade stuck. Better play this and try to fetch a card. Or you're like, I really need to break ride. Play it, fetch a card. But aside from that, you shouldn't be using those too often. Like it's not a waste because, you know, you didn't need it. So don't change the top of your deck if you don't have to. This one is Iron Blood Eradicator Shuki. So he's pretty powerful. When a rear guard is sent to the drop zone, this card gains plus by an Eradicator effect. I think. Wait, no, is it? I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's not because I'm pretty sure it works with Dragonic Death Scythe, which is something that people like to use a lot in Eradicators, which I haven't really tested on myself. If I have extra Dragonic Death Scythes, which I might try to put them in and play around with it. But overall, pretty powerful when rear guard is sent to the drop zone, plus 10k. So things like you just Cho the thing in the front and you boost this with any of your grade you boost any of your grade 3s, you're hitting 21. It's pretty strong. So 3 Eradicator Demolition Dragon, 10k attacker. I hear that there's better choices now. There was a new card that was released at the same set that Lorenz Force was. It's basically the same thing except you soul charge it and you kill something. I think you kill something. I'm not 100% sure on that myself because I haven't used that card. So, but I like the simplicity. Just 10k attacker. You never know when you might need these, so it's quite useful. 1 Linchu, and this is a special Linchu, so I'll show you guys. This is a special gold stamped Vanguard Festival, Great Vanguard Festival. Bushiroad proudly presents Great Vanguard Festival 2013. So yeah, it's a special Linchu. If you guys don't want it because it's expensive, this is like $10. So if you want just a normal one, I can try to find a normal one for you guys. If anyone wants a deck and does not want this special shiny Linchu. For the trigger lineup, is a really stupid reason why I only have 2 heals is because I couldn't find 2 Japanese heals, and Amulet, I think he only gave me 2. I think he only found me 2, so that's why I only play 2. But it's okay because I kind of like it with 6 draw, and then 8 crit. So healing is for scrubs anyways. Just kidding. But I often feel like your hand size is really small with Eradicators, so having the extra draw triggers is actually quite helpful. And also, you know, the heal triggers. You don't want to be like, you really don't want restanding Vanguards to lose the ability to restand because you got a heal trigger. So like you're 4 damage, attack. They go guard it, and then you go heal trigger, crap, and then like you can't heal, and then you can't restand it. Those little things, I'd like to avoid it, but that's not really the main reason why I'm not running heals. I mean, heals are great triggers. Heals are probably the most powerful trigger. That's why you only allowed 4 in your deck. But yeah, but I really don't mind the 6 draw, 8 crit 2 heal. So yeah, this deck I think it's going for 110. I will all the actual numbers will be in the description box when I'm done. So I hope someone will enjoy this deck more than I do right now. So I'll see you guys later.